Welcome back to the Flow Friday Sports Show on Flow FM, and we're getting into Western Eyre Netball, and the season kicks off tomorrow. Reanna Freeman is on the line with me to preview our first round of games. Reanna, great to be back speaking with you. How are you? First time we've got you on again for 2024.
Very good. Unprepared. This first weekend of round of games has come a bit quicker than we thought, Dan, but keen to get back to the football and netball tomorrow.
Yeah, they've come around very quickly, but yes, I think most people are echoing that sentiment. Everyone's pretty keen to get back to the arena for whatever sport it is. I did joke that the silly season's over, the summer sporting season, but we do love the summer sports season too. But yeah, I think for a lot of people, the winter certainly is the real deal. And Reanna, it's been a big summer for you. You're heading to coach at Port Lincoln with the Port Lincoln Academy there as the assistant coach.
Yeah, very keen and excited to have had that opportunity, Dan. Assistant coach for the Talent Academy in Port Lincoln. So I'm lucky enough to get a bit of mentoring coaching through online Zoom with some Adelaide coaches. Really excited for the fabulous talent we've got across the EP, 20 athletes, and it should be a great year for it.
There is a lot of talent there on the EP, and yes, congratulations to you in securing that role. I'm sure it's going to be beneficial for both parties, that's for sure. Well, let's get into our first round of action, and we'll start off with your former team, because you're not coaching the Hawks again this year, not the A grade at least, and it's the Hawks taking on the Tigers. So, Reanna, I don't mind a bit of bias on the Flow Friday Sports Show, but rumour has it you'll be removing a bit of bias this year when we talk about the Hawks.
I'd like to try and remove a bit, but I still have a daughter playing in the team. So either way, this will be a fabulous game. I think the first round of games, quite a few teams are missing a few players. So nobody really with full teams and starting to work out who they want in their lineup. So it's certainly exciting, but not necessarily a preview of what's ahead for the year. But of course, we've got Alana Cotton, who's normally playing in the goal defence bib, is actually taking on coaching this year. And for Westies, also a bit of a defender and plays a bit of goal, who's his coaching. So it's a common thread across all grades, all teams in A grade this year. They have coach players, which is actually exciting that these girls are taking on these roles. Hawks obviously made the grand final last year and had a loss against Wirrulla. Not too many changes to their team for the season, but this week they do have 4 out. They have both goalies and both defenders out, a bit of a different looking lineup. And for Westies, they have got Rani Hofrichter, who's a very tall goalie, out, so that will put Chloe Ettridge into goals, with a very young and talented Abby Thomas. So I actually think it's a really good hit out. It always is with Westies. Really good matchups down the court. I don't really know who you'd call to win, because maybe Westies, because they've got most of their lineup, and Hawks are without. But I think it'd be a great match.
Should be an interesting one to kick off the season. And yeah, Westies were the wild card last year, sort of in the middle of the table, but had a couple of good wins and were looking threatening late in the year. So it'll be interesting to see how much of that momentum carries on into the new season. And yes, you mentioned the Hawks went down to Wirrulla in the grand final last year, and Wirrulla, the Bombers, rewarded with a week off to start the season, so it'll be a slow burn for them getting into the year. And well, with the way premiership hangovers sometimes go, the extra week of pre-season might just be good for them. So no action for the Bombers this week, but there is action between Thevenard and the Ceduna Blues playing at Ceduna tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. So again, we've got player coaches. So for Blues, it's Hayley Clayton, who normally sits back at goalkeeper, goal defence. She's taken on the coaching role this year for Blues. A wealth of knowledge, and I think she'll do great things with these girls. Blues lineup looking a little bit different. They have got a couple out from last year, but they are keeping both defenders, Hayley and Taylor, and their goalies, Casey and Holly. So that's, some really good structure there for them, and then they'll rework through the middle. They've got Jordan Tonkin, who is one of our academy athletes playing up in the A grade this year. Really excited to see what she can do and what she'll bring in that wing attack role. They'll come up against Sevi, who, again, are another team who have a lot of outs. It's a bigger list of outs than ins. They've got Courtney Trowbridge, Lindsay Denton, Amy Fackless, Marnie Burge, Tracy Miller and Cass, all out of their A grades. So their lineup looking quite different, but they do have both depth in their B grade and quite a few players back. So I think the first few weeks will be a bit of a let's look and see where everyone fits and try and get some connections happening. I think this will be a really good game. You would think with the changes that might put Blues in favour, but they didn't have a great year last year. So this should be a hard one to call, I think, not really seeing a lot of these athletes this year. But nevertheless, it should be a really good game of netball.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if the Blues can get a win. Like you said, they struggled last year, so it would be good to see them get one on the board nice and early. Nothing against Thevenard, but yes, it would be good to see the Blues get one on the board early. Should be a cracking first round of games, and across the rest of the association in the other grades and the other age groups, how are numbers and participation looking? Everything looking healthy going into 2024?
It absolutely is. So again, Caniba haven't got an A grade this year, but they are most certainly in rebuilding stage as a club. They've had quite a few out to netball, and I think they'll have an ample amount of players, and hopefully can get some strong teams on the court, which will then encourage an A grade for next year. Other than that, we've got full grades everywhere except for one junior side. Numbers are looking really good. There's been a little bit of changing in clubs. Between clubs, and some people not playing and new players, a lot of movement, which we quite often see in Western Eyre being the four clubs essentially from one town. But an exciting year to come. I think I'm not the only one not ready for this weekend. That seems to be the common thread. But I think once everyone gets back on the court and realises what we're here for, everything will fall into place.
Yeah, it's snuck up, and I'm sure plenty of people aren't quite ready yet, but hopefully all the players are ready. Hopefully it's been a good pre-season, and there's not too many, tight muscles and unprepared bodies ready to go for round one. But yes, it all kicks off tomorrow. The excitement levels are high. The preparedness levels maybe not so high, but we'll get there as the season goes on. Reanna, always good to chat with you. Thanks very much for giving us that update ahead of round one. And you and I will speak again soon. All the best this weekend. Enjoy the action.
No worries. Thanks for having me, Dan.